Hey guys, it's Sunday the 24th. This is just a little bit of a podcast that we're going to do and everything. We're just going to talk about some subjects and everything. And this is Luis, so I'll introduce him to you guys and let him talk about himself and let you guys know a little bit about him.
What's up, guys? My name is Luis. Very happy to be here. Very grateful to my boy Thomas. Not only the best haircut, only man I trust with my hair, to be honest. But, sick ass dude. And today, man, that's exactly what we're here to talk about. I believe in personal success. I believe in fitness. I believe in doing your best, always, right? And my man Thomas here, just like anybody that's ever been successful at anything, at some point they decided to take success personal. And that's what I want to talk to you guys about today is, are you taking your life personal, right? Or are you just going through the motions? And who better than the man Thomas, who's been there, done that. And you know what I mean? I'm just here to pick your brain, to be honest. I just want to know more about you and see what.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
You know, a little bit more of your story, because I see the shop, I see you grinding. Like it's really cool what you've built here, man. Talking to you about it.
Yeah, brother. Back then, I had no ambition. Probably like when I was younger, probably growing up just in the wrong direction. I really feel like me going, had a little bit of a rough childhood, had good parents and everything. I would say, did go through juvenile hall, that little stuff, and came out, still made wrong decisions, moved from California to Albuquerque, got in trouble here and everything. God, I would say, just probably my lack of success then was probably due to the people that I hung out with. I'm a big believer in the 5 people you hang out with are the lump sum of your worth. Show me your friends and I'll show you your future. So I think that I hung out with the wrong crowd, and that was a big additive and, trouble and everything. And then, God, once I got out, once I got to prison and everything, it was, I picked up more dedication. I picked up barbering in there and everything.
Okay. So was that your big wake-up call, or when was that moment that you're like, oh shit, man, I gotta switch something in me,
That's a good question, dude. I think that accidentally developed. So I was in prison. I was in there for 1,827 days in the state of New Mexico. My prison number, guys, my name is Thomas Joseph Baca. My prison number is 60467. Anyone that wants to look me up or any of that. I would say accidental dedication through a passion that I had. I'd like to barber. I pretended I was a barber in prison. When I got there, they threw the clippers in the pot, and I told one of my buddies as a cellmate, I said, oh yeah, I'm a barber. I really wasn't a barber. I just cut a few heads on the street. And so yeah, I started cutting here and there. One day the clippers got thrown in there. Long story short, one day the clippers got tossed into the pot. The buddy was like, oh yeah, this guy cuts hair. And I was like, oh shit. And so, one of the big dudes in the pod came up, got a haircut. He liked it. And then I just really fell in love with that, what I was doing at that time. I like to make people feel good, and I like to make them, I like to make something look good, and I was creating something. So I had never been dedicated before, but I guess I had found a passion to kind of dedicate myself. So I kind of cheated with that.
And it's dope that you mentioned that it happens by accident, bro, because people never think about it that way, right?
Yeah.
Everybody's like, oh, you gotta figure out what you need to do, you gotta figure out what you need to do. But then, on the other hand, as soon as you stop trying to figure it out and trying to force shit, and you just kind of do what comes to you, and you just focus, like, it shifts, right? And then it goes back to that saying where how you do one thing is how you do everything, right?
That's
so
right.
You find that one passion that you love, which for you was barbering, and then you could see how that goes to every aspect of your life. Like, for me, that's the gym. For some people, that's barbering. For some people, that's writing. And I tell people, man, you can't discount yourself because of what your passions are, and you can't try to be like somebody else, bro, because that's how it happens, bro. Like, the accidents, those accidental things lead you to the fucking thing. They lead you to the passion and the purpose. That's why I think it's so dope that because that's how it happens, accidentally you end up right where you're meant to be. So
yeah, I really think about it too, and I say passion-wise, it's like, fuck, dedication and success. I really think that once your passion necessarily doesn't have to be your purpose. You can do something, as your purpose to be able to do your passion part-time. But I'm saying I was lucky enough for the passion to be the purpose. God, I would say a lot to do with my success was genuinely who I started to surround myself with. It really was. It was a big thing in that. In the sense of when I was cutting hair in prison, I wasn't necessarily in the pod hanging out with, too many of the, bunch of other guys that were doing the wrong things, bringing shit in, doing whatever it is they do. And, I was more, just, keeping my head in the barbering and everything. Obviously, when I got out, I started, once I placed myself around, better people, it really grew from there. It's
Yeah, man, that's gold, man. That's why I think that's why those sayings, they're still around, because they're so fucking true. Like who you hang around with, it really does reflect this. So, damn, man, like that's why I love hanging out with people like you, man. That show me that other side, because I know like everybody's always saying, "Oh, I had bad parents or this and that," but you literally just own up.
I was
like,
a
"Hey, bro,
selfish
I was doing
little
bad
bitch.
shit."
And I believe in extreme accountability. I believe when I was on the street as a kid, I was a selfish bitch. And I believe extreme accountability is everything. Once I owned up and I saw and said, this is, it just, that visual changed my life too as well. It was extreme accountability. Why am I in this place? Yeah. I'm in this place because I chose to be in this place.
Did you pick that up from Jocko or from
No, this I just picked up from, from self-realization of, being in there and saying, why am I here? And it's like, man, I could blame, you got spanked, I say you made choices, you made the wrong choices, and it was time to, switch that and transfer that into the right choices and everything.
And is that shift in mentality where you're no longer a victim, right? And when you take it personal, like we said, you can actually change it. And people underestimate the power of just not being a victim anymore and stop looking at life like, fuck, like I'm not like so and so. I don't have this. I don't have that. Or I was around the wrong people. Just pointing fingers, bros. And as soon as you decide, like, you know what, man, I did that. Yeah, it kind of sucked. It's like I fucking did this to me, but it put the power back in your hands to switch it around. So that's fucking awesome, bro. That you were able to turn it around. Like, talk to me. Like, what kind of shit were you doing that got you locked up? That got you in trouble?
Yeah, I mean, and it's all public record and everything. I used to, probably sell drugs. Unfortunately, got caught up. Someone, had robbed us at one point in time. We took revenge, and that kind of led me into prison and everything.
Yeah.
And so it was, like I say, just I was probably a part of the bad crowd, but just hanging out with other people and doing bad things. And
hell yeah, man. But it's just such a drastic point of view how you're going from dealing drugs and then you go to serving. Literally, you're there to serve through haircuts, through barbering, man. So talk to me about. I know you said you like to make people feel good and stuff like that. Talk to me about how that played out in prison for you, like. Making people feel good in prison. How does that work?
Okay, so God, a barber has a different stay in prison than most people in prison. I got to cut these people's hair and they all actually liked me. They wanted me to be around. It wasn't like I had any issues in prison. And I became very good at cutting hair. Shout out Eugene Galloway. I don't know if he's alive. I don't know what the deal is with him. He's a black barber who was over in Los Lunas Level 2. And I was blessed enough to get pulled into that barber shop, first real barber job I ever had. And Eugene Galloway showed me a ton of techniques, and my barbering grew. The first person that sat in my chair that was black was a guy by the name of Chauncey Johnson, and he was from Clovis, New Mexico. And a Spanish barber usually didn't cut a black guy's hair or whatever. Their hair's real good. They have, they usually, most Spanish guys can't cut their hair, but now one day Eugene had left and went home. He was only doing a short stay. I was doing 5 years. He was doing, I think, 18 months. His time had gone up. He had left. They put me as head barber. I was in charge of the shop. There was no other brothers in there, meaning black people. Chauncey walks in and comes into the shop and he's like, Eugene's gone. And so he actually sat on my chair. I busted out a fade. It came out elite. And once that happened and I busted out that fade on him, all the brothers came on my chair and everyone started sitting in my chair. And then what happened from that is all of a sudden, dude, I actually almost got in trouble. Like, so the guards had saw some of the haircuts on these brothers that play basketball and everything. And they were like, oh shit, So one time the sergeant came in and walked right into the barber shop, and then and I was like, oh shit, like am I in trouble or something? But he just sat down in the chair and he pointed to his head, and I was like, oh crap, you want me to cut his hair? So I even got up. I was like, damn. He was sitting in. I said, oh shit. So I kind of threw the cape on him, and I started cutting his hair and everything, and it was started cutting his hair and everything, and that was the first CO that I ever did. So when you come back to saying about that good feeling, so I felt when I was in prison, anytime I was around a guard, a nurse, a staff member, anyone like that, I felt that I had leprosy. You're not allowed to look at them, touch them. You can't be near. It just felt
like almost like less than
for sure, absolutely. And so when I cut his hair, I felt like, wow, you're allowing me to touch you. I don't have leprosy or anything. I'm allowed to cut your hair. And he loved the haircut. Well, the guy comes back in and brought a hamburger from the street, and I got to enjoy it. And I said, wow, dude. And so so I started cutting a bunch of CO's hair. Longer story short, the Secretary of Corrections, Joe Williams, shout out Joe Williams, I don't know where he is. He ended up coming onto the compound. Jackie Leyva, the sergeant that probably still works in Los Angeles to this day, comes into the barber shop and says, Thomas, get your stuff and you're coming to the warden's office. And I said, holy shit, probably getting locked up or whatever. So I go over to the warden's office, and a guy in a suit standing there, and it's Joe Williams, and he says, hi, I'm Joe Williams. And I was like, oh, nice to meet you. And he goes, did you cut my sergeant's hair? And I said, yeah, I'm so sorry. It was me. It was my fault. I did do it. It wasn't his fault, and it was my fault that I didn't finish in time, and he was late back to his post. Yeah. And he goes, well, go pack all your stuff. And I said, oh, fuck, I'm going to the hole. And he goes, and I got my stuff. I came back, and he goes, you're coming with me to central office. And I said, oh, I'm not allowed to go across the street because I have 5 years or whatever. Yeah. You had to have under a year to be able to travel to that demographic. And I said, I'm not allowed to go. And he says, I'm the Secretary of Corrections, pack your shit and you're coming with me. And I said, oh shit, no problem, dude, hell yeah. But he took me, long story short, took me to central office, which is a real place. That's the time I got to get some experience, and I got to build a barber shop. He told me, handed me a catalog that said to go to his secretary when I figure all the shit out, the barber chair, everything that I want to get for the shop, and I would build him a barber shop. I built that barber shop for him, and I became, you know what, dude, just to say something that made me feel really good, and this is when my integrity started kicking in, because I probably had no integrity up until this point. That dude, Joe Williams, said, TJ, go, he goes, I got something you got to go to property, I want you to go get an ID. And I said, okay, that's weird. So I went over and I got an ID. It said staff barber. And then he goes, nice. Yeah, bro. And he goes and gets me a pair of clippers, and he goes, he said, hey, these ones right here, I don't want you, I know you're going to do inmates haircuts when you go back to spend the night in prison at night. He goes, but during the day, you'll be using, this is for all of us. And it was like, fuck, dude. That was right there. It was like, man, these guys, that gave me integrity. You know what, brother? I put this on everything. All these fucking prisoners that probably hate me for this, but I kiss my ass. I don't care. And I swear to God, dude, I put that on everything. I'm the only motherfucker to go cut the cop's hair and go back to the yard and walk the main line. And it was like that. You know what I mean, dude? It was, hey, but here's one thing that I held on integrity on both ends, for the inmates and for the STG and everyone high end that I was cutting. I never crossed information. So back at the pod, I don't pay attention to someone that's doing the wrong thing, and I never share that information with the police. And another thing I never share, when I walk into the beautiful, office, the central office, and a beautiful high-end sergeant of STG is coming in to get a haircut, security threat group, and guess what? When he has that list of urines that are sitting out there, I don't share that information with the inmates either. I keep the integrity on both hands. I don't grab cigarette butts from, because some of the guys in the beginning were like, oh, at central office, because they can, staff can smoke and everything. And they say, go grab the cigarette. I say, I don't commit crime. I don't do anything. So that changed my life, is to start to really have accountability and say, what got me here? And to start to really corrective thinking in the way of, these guys aren't going to do corrective thinking in the sense of, just do corrective thinking. Do it to better your life. Corrective thinking to make income. Corrective thinking to better yourself.
People just underestimate so much how just being of service will elevate you. And just, like I said, personal success, you going out there and just saying, I'm gonna do this haircut the best I can, right? I'm pretty sure you weren't half-assing it. You weren't thinking about a paycheck. You know, hey, I'm
10
here.
cents an hour is what I
Yeah,
got paid.
I'm here to cut hair as best as I can and learn. And when you changed and you just did it every day, that service elevated you, man. It elevated you to places that you weren't even supposed to go to. And that's what I tell people. When you become of service and you change your point of view, it's gonna open up doors for you that you've never seen and that you couldn't up yourself. So when you come from service, you will see your life elevate. And even if he was still in prison, he's still cutting hair, but he's walking differently, he's talking differently, he's carrying himself differently, he became a man of integrity. Like, all this work was going on inside of him as his being of service, without him seeking attention, without him going for it. And that's what I tell everybody. When you do one thing and you give your best, like genuinely do your best, it's gonna go to every aspect of your life. You will carry yourself different. And Thomas is a prime example, because when you got out of prison, I see you now with the shop, I see you now doing good. It's like, how did you transition? Because like we now see where all that confidence and everything got built. When you came out, how did you take that and apply it to actually put the
I
shop
didn't
and
barber
everything?
when I got out. Unfortunately enough, I accidentally did MMA and everything.
Oh wow.
I got a buddy, shout out Donald Sanchez. He's fighting for bare knuckle, I think next month over here in Albuquerque in August. That guy was king of the cage, and I trained with him. I'd done stuff with him since he was 12. And so when I got out, I noticed he was king of the cage, and I figured, hey, we had all done that as a kid, and I may as well jump in that. It wasn't a direction eventually for me. God, dude, for a few years I just spent cutting hair for free on the side because I love doing it so much, but I never saw an avenue of getting money from it. What got me to understand that I could actually, what got me back on gear was I spent 3 years doing MMA, never making a paycheck, being an amateur fighter, never making any money. You could look up, I got a little tiny record as well, 0-1 King of the Cage. I've had more fights than that, but that's on my Sherdog record. And what got me really into it was I went to a barber shop in town. I'll keep that barber shop silent. I went to a barber shop in town. A buddy of mine owned that barber shop. He was going to a big UFC fight with another buddy, and he said, hey, do you want to come and barber in my space? He knew that I was very sick at cutting hair. As a matter of fact, I taught him to cut hair before I went to prison. When I got out, he had a shop. And so, I said, I'd love to go cut hair there. I don't even, and so I noticed that I made, this isn't a lot of money, guys, but back then for my poor broke ass who was in a homeless shelter, not homeless shelter, but halfway house and everything else, it was $300 that day, and I said, holy fuck. I thought it was $3,000 that day, and I said, shit, I got to get the barber license. And that's what got me to go get the license and get that license. Then I went in, and just to show them so they know it's real, it's like, hey guys, so you know everything is real here. This is, I went in and got the barber license, went in and got that master barber license. You guys can all look at it. I'm not ashamed to hide any numbers or anything. I got that barber license. Once I got that barber license, I went to work for 6 months. I earned the money to open up this spot, which had nothing in it. Luis knows there wasn't even hardwood floors, guys. We were dancing on carpet. He's been here since the fucking beginning. That's why I love this dude so much. He's been an inspiration in my life. Guys, I want to say before I even continue to say this, this dude is the best of the best. When it comes to success, coach, the other things I've even done with making things more successful has a lot to do with him. He doesn't know that. He won't know that, but that's a lot of it is. This guy's going to want to... Look, I also became an instructor. But Luis, I want you to give them your information, your Instagram handle. We're going to be pumping his Instagram handle even more and everything, but tell them how to reach you.
So, right now, I really only have Instagram. I'm not big on socials. I'm a read a book and go to the gym type of guy, but I'm on Instagram at Luis_Baca with the number 1 instead of an L. So Luis spelled with a 1 instead of an L _Baca. So
that's hyper. It's like, hell yeah.
And like I said, man, I love talking to you because people don't realize that success is all around them. And there's a quote that I heard that most people have never been around greatness to realize how ordinary it is, right? Most people are thinking, oh, that guy, he's famous, he's rich, is that? No, the barber next to you is successful. The teacher that is a teacher because that's what they want to do, that person is successful. Success is all around you. And
Success
it always
is all
leaves
around
clues.
you.
And it leaves clues, guys. Anybody
Leaves
that's
clues.
been successful at anything, they took it personal. They elevated themselves through service, you know. And I'm talking about people that really make it and really render a difference to their craft. So people like Thomas that, you know, have built this shop from nothing, coming from a troubled background and taking that responsibility and being extremely real and raw. And you guys can see it in the way he talks and expresses himself that it's really nothing special. You got the right and the power to be yourself. You can serve, and through your service, no matter how small and insignificant it seems at first, it could just be one haircut. It could just be one workout that you take a buddy with you to train them. It'll open every door for you. That's how I got into coaching. I literally started with one guy, hey, come to the gym with me. Through training him, I elevated myself, and then I was able to help more. People don't realize how much when you help others and serve, the work is really getting done inside you. And that's the beauty of it, man. And that's what I wish people would think of when they go out and serve. It's not what I'm getting from anything, is I'm literally becoming that person. And when you become that person, everything else can come to you. You know, once you walk with that integrity, with that confidence, and then you came out and then you got that $300, it's like you get that, like, wow, I made that happen from something that came from me, that I'm good at, that is making a difference, that makes somebody feel good. Is like boom, and then the whole world is like it opened up to you, right?
And
so,
pay attention to the law of attraction. Like you think about it every day, guys. I swear to God on everything. Like I thought about this watch that I wear here, and I'm serious. Like this watch right here, I thought about it every single day. I watched this watch in GQ in prison. I looked at it, I manifested it, I brought it into a reality. When I tell you guys I did MMA, it's like I really, really did MMA. I mean, these are, just to even show you, look guys, this is Alistair Overeem. This is, God, who do we, look guys, here's John Jones even. So like whatever you can do to manifest is, you know, becomes real. Iron sharpens iron, all that other shit.
That's the truth, guys. You become what you think about. No matter what you believe in, everybody's agreed from this, from philosophers to the Bible to whatever you believe in, you become what you think about. So the people you hang out with that are messing with your head, that are telling you, hey bro, maybe don't do that, you become what you think about. So every time, I want you guys, when you're forging those habits, when you're like, hey, you know, when you talk about yourself, are you telling yourself, oh, I'm fat, that's why I don't go to the gym, I'm a fat boy, man. That's the one I hear a lot. Or you hear, oh, you know, I'm just this way, bro, I'm just a lazy person. Like, are you talking to yourself a certain way? Like the law of attraction, it works for material things, but it also works for you. Who do you want to be? Think about that every day, and you will become that person. So, yeah, and when you become that person that has those things, you get those things automatically. That's who you are. Right?
And yeah,
that's
right. Yeah, that's right. When you guys really put the focus on it mentally, your mental will eventually propel your physical, and it'll your mind will have you doing different things. The more thought, you know, process you put towards something, you know, and positive things. That's why I say it's like that. You know, hey guys, this is our first little podcast. This is me and Luis. We're going to be doing this every Sunday, and if you guys like it, we're going to be doing it more than that. And one thing we want to say too is, guys, anything you put, look, anything you guys want to hear me and him talk about, just put it in the comments section, and then make sure to like and subscribe to the video and everything. You know, help us out. It's free to like the video, so let's see how many of you guys like the video. You know, 6,000 views, we should get, you know, 6,000 likes, and it costs you nothing. You know, don't hate, help us out. It's just, you know, look where we've been, where we're going. We want you guys to come on the journey with us. This is why we're doing it, dude. This guy likes to help people, so I figure I'm starting to have a platform. This will be our platform. We're gonna help you guys better your lives through something realistic that you can see. You know, unfortunately, he hasn't been to prison, which is a very good thing. And, you know, but he can see it manifest through me. I love you, my God. But hey, guys, that's it. And
thank you.
We're going to wrap it up. And anything else you got to say?
Honestly, man, I'm just grateful for the opportunity. Thank you for letting me be here. Grateful for you guys. You know, we're here to serve. So any questions, drop them in that chat and, you know, support the man. There's very few people out there that will legit go out of their way to serve. So if you ever even come in with a haircut, you know that he goes above and beyond. And that's the goal, guys, to go above and beyond in everything we do. So
Yeah, and put in the comment section anything you want us to talk about. I don't care what it is. We'll talk about it, give you the best angle on it, whether it's housing, whether it's money, whether it's fitness. You know, we like fitness and success for sure. Those are the big things. You guys will see a transformation coming along. He's going to help me get into shape. And I'm Thomas Baca, barber on all platforms. Any platform you could think of, that's me. So, yeah, just hook us up. Appreciate it.